Your conversations aren't going anywhere, and it's not because you're bad at networking. In fact, that's the part that's confusing. You already talk to people. You're friendly, you can hold a conversation. So why does nothing come from it? No follow up, no real opportunities, just more conversations. I've seen this pattern over and over, not just in other people, but in real conversations I've been a part of. And once you see what's actually happening here, you stop blaming yourself and start changing how conversations actually work. Here's what's happening, and it's subtle. You've been using networking as a performance, not in an obvious way, but in a quiet, automatic way. You're trying to keep the conversation smooth, keep the energy up, avoid awkward silence, so the whole time you're managing how the conversation feels. Instead of paying attention to what's actually happening, and this is where it breaks. Because a conversation can feel good and still go nowhere. I was teaching a class once and someone said something that really stuck with me. She said, I always miss this part. And what she meant was she could have the conversation. She could show up, talk to people, be engaged. But the follow up, that's where it always fell apart. It wasn't because she didn't care or didn't want to. She'd leave thinking, I should reach out. But then she'd get busy, or honestly, sometimes she just dreaded the small talk parts of continuing it. So nothing happened. And that's the part people don't talk about. That's not bad networking, that's empty networking. It feels productive, but it produces nothing. And this is where most people go wrong because they think the fix is to be more impressive. So instead, they try to stand out more, say better things, be more memorable. But here's the problem with that. The more you focus on how you come across, the less you actually see what's in front of you. Because the people who actually get opportunities from networking aren't focused on being impressive. They're focused on one thing. Is there a real reason for this conversation to continue? Not, was it good? Did we vibe? But does this go anywhere? That's a completely different question. And almost nobody is asking it in real time. If you want to actually get better at this, not just have more conversations, I break this down step by step in a deeper training. But for now, stay with me because this next part is where this actually becomes useful. Because once you start asking better questions, the conversation itself changes. Most people hear, I'm trying to grow my business. And they respond with, oh, nice. Yeah, I do something similar. Or, that's awesome. How long have you been doing that? That keeps the conversation going, but it doesn't move it. Someone who's actually paying attention hears the same thing and asks, what's been the hardest part of that lately? Where are most of your clients coming from right now? Now the conversation changes because now you're not just talking, you're uncovering something real. And that's the moment most people miss because they're too busy keeping the conversation alive instead of letting it mean something. But even if you understand this, most people still walk into rooms the same exact way. They're thinking, hopefully I meet the right people. Hopefully something comes from this. And that right there is why nothing changes. So now you understand this. Being outgoing isn't the problem. The real shift is this. You stop trying to have good conversations and start deciding if they should continue. But here's the real question. If most conversations don't actually lead anywhere, does fixing this even work? Because in the next video, I'm going to show you what actually happens when you change this and what it leads to. If you ever had a conversation that felt great and led to nothing, drop happened to me in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one.